Indeed. Well, let's go live to Germany now. And Professor Uwe Janssens is president of the German Interdisciplinary at the Association of Critical Care and Emergency Medicine. And in Germany, they've had a fairly successful track and trace system. Good evening to you. Thank you for being with us. So track and trace is the key to avoiding a second wave, we're being told here. Is that how you see it in Germany as well?
Yes, Mark, we did see it from the beginning, and I think the authorities did a very good job, and we nearly copied the measures the people in other parts of the world did successfully. At the time, you don't have any chance to recognize people, and I tell you, we know very well. The lady in before, she talked about people with symptoms, but a lot of people, the most of them, don't have any symptoms. So they walk through the cities and go to somewhere else and visit people, and they may be the carrier of this virus, they may be super spreaders. So we have to identify first the people who are symptomatic. Second, we have to trace the contacts. And I think this was very successful in Germany. And in the very beginning, I don't know how it's in England, most part of the general practitioners, and we have a very good ambulatory system in Germany, they were the ones who did the testings. They have a very close contact to their patients. And so they identified very early in the beginning people with contacts, people with symptoms. And secondly, we have a quite well-functioning public health department system, yes. Like the example you just showed in Blackburn, I think it was. I think it's quite successful if you implement local measures to enhance the testing for the one and for the other, to enhance the contact tracing. And those measures together, I think they are the basic for a successful battle against this dreadful virus.
Yeah, so it's interesting you make the point there about, because I think there are, 15 or 16 states in Germany, and those states have responsibility for outbreak management, and they have responsibility for tracking and tracing. Here, obviously, we have a national health service. And so do you think that is a crucial difference?
Yeah, this is on the one hand thing. I think it is positive that we have 16 local governments which control for this. On the other hand, our health ministry, Jens Spahn, he took over some of the responsibilities with the German law. At the moment, he is able to regulate some things. I think that's quite good. On the other hand, the local systems and the local states in Germany, they know very well the local situations. I think that is one advantage, maybe perhaps over a national regulated system. So you are very much earlier and quicker in identifying hotspots. For instance, you remember the hotspot in this factory, meat factory, Tönnies, or at the moment we have hotspots in the south of Germany, and very, very quick they can react, and then they can concentrate on these hotspots and then control for that. I think that's a quite good measure to do. Perhaps the British people should learn from this, and they should localize it more, like the people in Blackburn does.
Yeah, and what would you make of a system? These researchers are saying the system is reaching 50% of contacts. That, I mean, the government denies that, I should say here, and they say it's much higher, more like 75%. But 50% would be not doing the, not a world-beating system.
Yes, I think that's 50%. I think you must imagine, if you don't trace, if you have 100 people who have contact, who are contacted people with SARS-CoV-2, and they get infected, and you trace 50 of them, The other 50s will go on with the virus and will spread it. That means one of these will infect 3 others. So you will have an exponentially increasing infectious rate. So I think 50% would be not enough. And so the researchers, I think from the Lancet, they're quite right. You should reach 70 to 80%. And this is a great, it's very difficult, I think, at the moment in Great Britain to realize this figure. But it's of utmost importance at the time we don't have any vaccine, at the time we don't have any sure medication, at the time in Great Britain you don't have enough emergency and intensive care beds in comparison to maybe Germany, which has much more. I think this is of utmost importance to control for the spreading of the virus. Otherwise, your health system will crashes and will break down, and you will have a devastating situation in autumn or in the winter.
Okay, and just finally, Dr. Janssens, I mean, is confidence high in Germany that you have controlled this now and that this thing is pretty much under control?
We are very cautious at the moment. Like in Great Britain, at the moment, we see a slightly increasing number of infection. Yes, at the moment, about 900 perhaps, tomorrow it will be 1,000. I think that's not so much, but there is a sign that there will be increase. At the moment, we have people coming back from their holidays. Some of them come back from high-risk areas. And we have to control for that. And that is very important to identify these people, to separate them, to isolate them, to quarantine them, and to test them. This is very, very important. So if we don't do that, we will have in 3 to 4 weeks, once again, not thousands a day, maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And then we will have, again, a problem. And nobody of us hopes that this arrives us in the future.
Okay, Professor Janssens, as always, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.